Hi, we're recording. Let me check some of my tech and then I'll introduce who I am. Let's make sure the audio, yeah, the audio looks pretty good. And the camera. Oh, we got our Snapchat. So let me introduce you to what's going on here as I disappear. So you can decide if you want to hang out or not. Well, I was going to create a stream below. So I'm going to end the broadcast and maybe I won't end the broadcast. We're just going to go raw here. We're trying to be authentic. We're trying to be raw. I'm trying to do the do, and I'm just going to create a new banner. I might have to stand up to do that, so you're coming with me. So here's the deal. I've been inspired, and I've started already, but I'm considering this day one. I've been doing a couple of different things. All right, let's see if that goes. Yeah. Most of you know that, well, let's start with firsts. Hi. Uh, in the Muggle life, my name is Christine Marguerite. On the Lightworker woo woo mysticism streets, I can be known as Blossom because that is one of the channels I have. Anyway, most of you know that and if you found me on this channel, that I'm heavy meditation person. And have been for decades, literally decades, going on 3 decades now of meditating. And so I've taken up the new practice of this commitment of a couple of different things. One is 1 hour of meditation every day for 108 days. And I'm counting today as day one. I'm also doing, along with that, creative flow every day. Creative flow can be uh, painting, some kind of expressive art, visual art. It can also be movement and dancing. It can also be words. I'm working with Whitney Freya right now with her um, creatively fit coaching program. And so I will be certified to coach that creatively fit stuff later on in the year. Anyway, so that's my commitment. Here's day one. Day one, and we'll just see how it goes. So that's the intro. I'm going to talk a little bit about my day one now. Stick around. So here we are. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I want to, because this is semi-live. I'm calling it semi-live. Where's my audio? Yes, you can hear me. I do need to turn down this other audio here. Apologies. This is where all the tech is just going to get weird bonkers because it's me and me, and that's cool. So here's the deal. About what's today? Today is Saturday. Almost a week ago, about 6 days ago, I started, inspired by Kyle Cease. I'm also in his AEP program, Absolutely Everything Pass, which is a whole other thing. Maybe I'll advertise it some other day. And there he talks about the adage we all know: if you want something different, just do something different. Do something in the direction of where you want to be going. There's a couple other people I've been working with. Larry, the financial shaman, who's hugely influential, as well as Kelsey Kinsey White. You've seen me interact with her on the woo-woo internet social media streets before, and um, Empowered Creatrix is the name of that program there. So all of these things are coming together, and this is my commitment to myself uh, in growing in peace and surrender. Those are my two words. I should write those down. I know them already, but peace and surrender. And so, what are the steps I take in going and moving in those directions? What are the action steps and what are the attitudinal Vedna kind of steps that I take? Yeah, it's always been weaved, excuse me, throughout my life in different ways. Um, things are changing. I'm changing. The people I work with are changing. Everything's changing. And so I am taking action. I'm doing this as a kind of, what is that word? Accountability. So every day for the next 108 days, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to report. Is that going to be right after I sit in the morning, which was kind of what this is today? Is it going to be at the night? We'll see. But that is the tertiary, apparently, bit. My accountability is making one of these. And then my idea is perhaps I'll go live right now. This is recording and I will post it to, I think, my YouTube group. I'll see if I can do all these fancy things in my YouTube group. It may be a little bit more raw and not like this. We shall see. But it's every day. Why 108? People often talk about, and Kyle offers us 100 days. 108 is a sacred number, 819, and then you can divide that all the way down in half or in threes. Anyway, it has meaning for me, and it's just another 8 days, just another week plus added on to the 100, and we'll see where I am. That brings us to some place in January. So, where's my heavy commitment? Is my heavy commitment going to be to my sitting practice, which I've already begun? Yesterday wasn't quite an hour, I confess, and my what I consider my meditation practice is distinct from my energy work practice, although they look similar. It's silent sitting. So is that going to be the major commitment, or is making these offerings of these videos or these live stream accountabilities, is this going to be the big commitment? Is the creative process? I already have another group that I work with there. There's also doing yet another class. So as you can see, I'm keeping myself busy. And then there's the rest of my life and all the other projects and people I work with there. The other one is tarot cards with Chris Rack, Meadow Pond Tarot. If you haven't checked that out, please check that out. Will I remember to do all the links in the feed below? I don't know. Eventually I will. Eventually I will. It's important just to, pardon me, it's important just to do this and just show up. Let me make sure my mic is still uh, working after that. Yeah, it is. All right, sweet. So what was it today? I've been reflecting on, I saw this TED talk that was recommended to us by Whitney Freya. And I do not remember this woman's name. She's a scientist, a brain scientist. So is that a neuroscience person? I believe so. Who had a stroke. And she did a TED talk about it because of what she learned and how the stroke was on the left side of her brain. So her right side of her her organ of her brain took over and all the functions that happen on the right side as opposed to the left side. And what I noticed, and her uptake at the end was, wouldn't it be nice if we let the left brain take a back seat in the right brain, which doesn't create divisions. It's the oneness aspect. It's the broadening peace aspect. Self. One of my goals with my creative projects, my creative expression through art, painting, color, and movement, is to begin to open the pathways of friendship. the colossum, uh, the cerebral colossum, that line that delineates between the left and right sides of the brain. I want to really activate those neurons. And so this week, that's what I'm doing. And so my sit this morning, what did I learn and what was actually there? Oh, I also have physical processes that are going on that may or may not derail how I show up here. We'll see. We'll see. I took notes, right? It's so interesting. So as I befriend this, the kindness towards that individuation side, the left side of my brain that plans, makes schedules, makes lists, the what we sometimes call the middle management, but dude, that has to come online full force in certain situations so that it can be called upon without shame, without contracting it, which I tend to do as I, in my value system, value peace and expansion and expression and intuition and the creative flows. It begins to shrink and tighten that other part of my brain. And I'm not sure that that's what I want to do. And so I'm making choices to befriend it, to not make it the bad guy. Uh, yeah, we all have to function together. Uh, Most of us are on the other end. The financial shaman, Larry, what's his last name? Morrison, that I work with, he learned this image about how people tend to function, which is not me, but I want to bring it up here because uh, it's important. So you have your thinking mind, the planning, that aspect of self, that hopefully healthy ego. And that's part of it too, that I want to make my functioning ego more healthy by loving it, by not putting it in the dungeon. So most people are running their lives with that aspect of self, and imagining that that's your left hand when technically it would be your right hand because your left brain talks to your right hand. Your right brain talks to the left side of your body, is the oneness creative aspect of mind. And then in your gut and your heart, you have this mission. You have this, I'm trying to remember what they call it, that which lights you up. So if you think of your right hand as the one that gets things done, and your left hand is the one that's creative and open and new ideas and flowing and tapping in, and your mission, your purpose for life is down through your feet. Most people go through life just functioning with the right hand, with the left hand tied behind their back, and then down on their knees, their feet, their purpose in life cut out from under them, their creativity, listening, expansion tied behind their back, and they're just plowing through with the right hand. Do this, do this, do this. And what he says is to begin to untie and stand up onto those feet and bring everything back online. For me, sometimes this is tied behind my back, and I'm just in my mission, standing on my feet, open into the creative flow. And I need some action steps. I need that other part of my brain back online. So it was interesting in meditation today. What I want to be doing, there's different layers. I work with the Shinzen Young unified mindfulness techniques, which is, a more sort of sciencey view of mindfulness, Theravadan Zen Buddhism with a little Vajrayana thrown in there for me. And I work with interest, opportunity, and uh, need or necessity. Uh, ION, interest, opportunity, need, or necessity. And so um, my overarching arching goal is this of evolution of my entire consciousness. Uh, and I've already moved into what many Buddhists call stream entry. So there's initial stages, but to be a twice tertiary and onward returner, twice returner, third returner, overarching goal. And as I sit, that's my overall intention or interest. As I sit, I have to, or it becomes the opportunity that I look for. The second stage is all these things that I've been offering here. What I'm interested in really is cultivating peace. Peace palace, my own inner peace palace, my inner external peace palace, radiating peace and bringing the two aspects of neural brain functioning online. Anyway, maybe this is all just unpacking what's really going on for me and what's up. It's interesting. I did have more caffeine this morning. In some ways, I haven't been able to have it at all. My system won't tolerate it, interestingly enough. So, as I sat down, my uh, it became my necessity, my need to address what's in the present moment. My and I had an opportunity to. My interest was to lean into shamatha, a peacefulness practice through the breath and the coolness of the inhale, and really that's very right brain thinking, that expansiveness. Remember, right brain, left hand, creativity, expansiveness. What I found there was a dialogue where my hear in, see in was very active. Was that right brain? Was that left brain? It was both. The inspiration started flowing through and it just expanded. Not my what I was looking for an opportunity for was to just rest in peace. Moments of it. What was really happening was these other intentions that became needs and necessities, uh, my other interests, intentions, and the opportunities were abundant. The ideas sprung to mind. Creativity was there the whole time. My mind was talking to me about what about this? Oh, then this. Oh, then this. And then I ended up, and I could have written more, but I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff. And then there was the planning. Well, after we'll do this. Well, after do this. In some ways, we call this busy mind. It's okay. For me, it's okay. It's the beginning of the dialogue between these two aspects of mind. And although I am wanting to, and it wasn't as if there were less judgments, no judgments, right? So we're all in kindness, which is a kind of equanimity. And I should say peacefulness is a flavor of upekkha, is a flavor of equanimity. So it was busy. It was busy. It was busy to do this, to make this video, to do this accountability thing. Um, what I wrote down at the very beginning was an insight. Where there is judgment, there is constriction. Where there is constriction in the system, tight thinking, tight images, tight thoughts, tight emotions, tight body. Where there is constriction, likely there's also judgment. And so that was within the first 5 minutes. Granted, I'm working with insight timers, so I have my bongs, my bings and my bongs, and things sort of uh, holding space for me within that time. And so as I began to let go, the floodgates of creativity just came. Ideas for different things that I've been thinking about and I didn't want to forget about. So, how many times do I have to write these things down? If you go to meditate, take pen and paper with you. And there will be days where you just need to let the flow come and you want to write things down because I find in my mind, if I don't let it flow, another of my intentions, if I don't note it, my mind will begin to contract around it because it's in fear that I will lose it, in fear that it will go away, that I have to hold on to it. I have to contract my mind. And the way I contract is I repeat over and over again that sentence or that phrase, or that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do so that I don't lose it. That's anxiety. That's anxiety, an emotional state of anxiety. Those are opposed to peace. So if I want to commit to peace, I take a piece of paper and what is so urgent in my brain that I need to write this down, I just put it on the paper and then it's there. I can let go of it and the flow can keep coming. That's what I'm doing with my practice. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And so all these ideas for what I want my 2022 to be in terms of what I offer out there, I just kept writing them down. Um, and I just let my brain flow, always touching base with, is there peace? Is there peace? Where is there peace? So always leaning into peace. And so for me today, peacefulness looked like paying attention to and allowing a flow within the mental space, the field of mind, the creative flow, the ideas, and not fighting them, not contracting around them, not saying, thank you, I love you, go away, which is a kind of dismissal. I just let it be there. And can I tell you, I know because I've been practicing for a long time that if you just sit, if I just sit with what is for a while, for as long as it takes, it exhausts itself. And then these other intentions of open peacefulness, expansion arise. Can I tell you today, it didn't, moments of that arose. It had a lot to say. There was a lot of flow that wanted acknowledgement, that wanted to be seen, heard, expressed, wanted to be there. And so, okay, who am I to judge that? I am the creator and I could have, and I just let it be. I just let the flow. I did not judge it, which is a contraction around it, saying that it was allowed or not allowed. I just let the arisings keep arising. In Buddhist practice, we talk about arising and passing. So I let things arise and pass again and again and again. And after an hour, it wasn't exhausted. Towards the end, did I tighten up? And did they start to wind me up? There was a tightness that came that wanted to get on those feet and take action. And I let that thing, that tightness of taking action that can turn into anxiety, I let that be there. I said, okay, We have a timer here. We're not ready. It's just an hour. Hello. Hello. I can sleep for 8. I can take a shower for 30. I can watch a movie. I can binge watch Netflix for 5 hours. Can I just, for another 5 minutes, be with myself? Honor the sacred arising of this anxiety of doing, the left brain kicking in, judging. We're not enough to just be here with this thrill. We got to do. Can I be with that? Can I be with that? And just be with the clench. Just be with the judgment, with actions born of the fear that just being with the flow is not enough, that just being with the expression and letting it express excitedly, not out of fear. I gotta do. No. I want to do. This is exciting. Can I be with that before I take action so that the action is not encumbered? Dances of, I'm a dancer. What am I dancing with? What? What am I dancing with? That's what I danced with today. Day one. Day one. Day one looks like this. Okay, so it is. Hope this was helpful. I'll be posting this soon. Maybe tonight. I don't know. The beginnings of the days and the endings of the days are what's for me, the most primely peaceful moments. And so, all right. Don't know how long I've been going on. What time is it? About an hour. All right, that's enough. Thanks everybody for joining me. I'll see you on day 2.